Ladies and gentle germs, we thank you for choosing Woodward Cinemas for your show experience today. But before the show gets started, let's all go to the lobby to get some snacks. And now it's time for your feature presentation, Lobby Snacks with Coby and Rosy.
The little theme song is going. And welcome to the Lobby Snacks. I am one of your hosts, Coby, and who's sitting beside me right here?
I don't know. I am in another country.
Are you?
No.
Why do you lie to me?
I'm not next to you, though.
Oh,
You're lying to them. I'm not next to you.
Well, if they're watching the video version, they'll be able to see that we are next to each other virtually.
Anyway, I'm Rosy. Hi.
And we're back.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
Hi.
To two of you that care.
Yes.
This is Lobby Snacks is back for our third episode. We're happy. Episode 3, we have gotten past our one episode. Which, do you feel as a filmmaker, when you get an idea, you get like really motivated, you do the thing, and you're planning on like 10 more of them, and it only ends up just the one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Always. It's lucky if I even get one.
That's true. You even getting it on paper is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, the series I'm working on for the Woodward Cinemas channel, the Woodward Way, I'm impressed that I got one season of it in script, and the only reason is because I did it for a project in class. But there's 5 seasons of it in my head. I know it happens. Am I gonna put pen to paper? No.
Yes, eventually.
Eventually, I need motivation for that. But
yeah,
we are pretty good at getting this podcast to go along now. Some of you may remember episode 3 was supposed to be our Oscar episode. And it was recorded. Man. Rosy, what happened with our Oscar episode?
It's gone. Lost media files. It's in the archive.
It's in the archive somewhere. Yeah, we recorded it doing our predictions before the Oscars. And again, we were talking about motivation, and I didn't get a chance to edit it before it broadcasted. And I thought that's fine, because we can maybe do a podcast where we compare what we said to the answers. And a funny thing happened during the Oscars broadcast. I don't know if you saw this, but Will Smith fucking decked Chris Rock. And
Dude, my jaw was on the floor for that whole night watching the Oscars. It was just like,
what are they doing?
Like,
what is going on?
The Will Smith thing was just like cherry on top. It was insane.
Well, that whole night, like, the hosts were not good. They made some pretty questionable jokes for television. Questionable jokes in general, with like the whole Me Too movement going around, and they're like feeling the guys up on stage for COVID. That was weird.
Yeah.
There was some questionable choices I found with some of the categories. Zack Snyder's cheer moment won when the movie wasn't even in theaters, when Flash went to the speed of light. And then the most unpredictable thing happened, something that's not scripted. I didn't think we'd ever see this since La La Land, something like this happening. But Will slapped Chris Rock. And our whole podcast of us making our predictions was old news 2 days after we recorded it.
Just immediately gone, dead, lost media forever. It's maybe one day we'll release it, but it was just kind of like, anything we said in that podcast does not matter.
No, because anyone that's ever going to think about the 2022 Oscars is going to be about the slap. They find our podcast, and there is nothing to do with the slap in that podcast.
Yeah. And then we just didn't record the follow-up. So.
Yeah, I think I did do a tally, though, while I was doing the initial edit of it. You beat me by 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you had 1 more right guess than I did. So congratulations.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, but lost media. Do you know much about Lost Media, Rosie?
I wish I knew more. I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah, I started, divulging a little bit into some of the subreddits about it. It's really fascinating. It's a lot of actually more, not so much TV episodes, but commercials. Like someone will ask, like, does anyone have like a YTV commercial from 2000 where this guy is like doing whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was a big discovery in Lost Media. I think it was a few weeks ago. Sesame Street in the 70s filmed an episode about the actress Margaret Hamilton from The Wizard of Oz. She came on as the Wicked Witch.
Huh.
And it only aired once because it scared children, apparently. And they shelved it.
I was one of those children. No, I don't think I was even alive yet when that would have aired. But
would you rather watch the Margaret Hamilton episode of Sesame Street, or would you rather watch the Pokemon episode that gave kids seizures?
Oh my God, I thought it was a game that made people kill themselves.
Oh, that was Slender, wasn't it?
It was a Pokemon game that had like a song in it with a frequency that like makes people suicidal.
Yeah, Pokemon is crazy for those stories. Like, I don't know if I believe half of them, but like the amount of stuff Pokemon's gone through in its 25 years of existence is nuts.
Yeah. That's so funny about the Sesame Street Lost Media. It just scared children so bad they had to destroy it.
and that's actually, I think it was one of the reasons why that she went on Mr. Rogers like a few years later, because Mr. Rogers did a whole episode with her to prove that she wasn't scary and that witches don't have to be scary. Aww. And stuff. But yeah, that episode apparently, like, it was just released by some of this big archive place. It's probably one of the biggest archives in the world. It's just it's escaping me, but they just randomly released it to the public, and now you can watch it, which is kind of cool. Like, it only aired once, and now people are seeing it again. A lot of passed away Sesame Street members, and that's what's so cool about Lost Media stuff. That and it's crazy to me because nowadays, with us being in film, everything is so preserved on like 4 or 5 hard drives.
Oh yeah, there's like backups from your backups.
And back then they just aired shows and we were like, okay.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like the ancient civilizations that didn't write anything down. Mm-hmm. Like the one that did, of course, we know the most about it, like ancient Greece, ancient Rome.
Yeah.
But the ones that didn't record anything, they didn't think of the future. Like, that's
they didn't. Yeah. It wasn't part of their system, except for, of course, all the lost scrolls at the Library of Alexandria that burned down.
Oh, I know. My God, I don't want to live in that timeline where we don't have that knowledge. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to live in a timeline. Wasn't it at the end of National Treasure when they found, the Holy Grail or whatever? They had scrolls from the Library of Alexandria, and I think it'd be cool if someone found them now and we just like read them all.
Yeah, that'd be dope, but I'm not hopeful.
No, they were burned.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
That sucks.
Lost Media Scroll Edition.
I mean, it is media.
Yeah. Did you hear about the potential Lost Media coming up with Warner Brothers?
No.
This is just very new in the news, but the Batgirl movie just got canceled for they completed it. It was nearly completed. It was Brendan Fraser was going to play the villain in it. Like one of his comeback movies. He has a couple coming out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's got one coming out with someone.
The Whale, A24.
Yeah. A24. Yeah, he's the Whale. It looks good. He looks weird.
Yeah. I'm glad he's coming back. But yeah, this is one of his comeback movies. And Warner Brothers announced that movie and Scoob, prequel movie for the new animated Scooby-Doo, they were both done and they just shelved them. They said it's not coming out, and it's been revealed it's because they get a tax break if they don't release it.
What the fuck? Sorry to all of those people who worked on the set and were really proud of their jobs. And, for a lot of people like Brendan Fraser, for example, a comeback role for him, and it's just whatever, because they need the tax money. Why? Why? Because you didn't make as much in the box office theaters as you usually would because we just lived through a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy.
And I know that one of the excuses Warner Brothers has come out with was, oh, well, we're not going in that direction. Well, spoiler alert, Warner Brothers has no idea what direction they want to take DC. And
that's been obvious since the start. I don't know if they want to be like Marvel or not like Marvel.
Yeah, and now they're making it confusing because they have the DCEU, but they also are making solo movies. Now Ben Affleck is back, but Robert Pattinson is still doing his stuff.
It's such a mess.
Yeah.
You know what? Similar to the comics, so I'll give them that. It's good luck starting anywhere in DC Comics.
Yes. Yeah, I watched a whole YouTube video talking about DC and how they back like 15 years ago or so, they tried to change everything to like gain popularity, and they didn't. It actually destroyed the comics for the most part. So they went back to the original formula.
Yep. I mean, if it's not broke,
don't fix it.
Like, that is a perfect case of that. It's not broke, don't fix it. You know, people like certain things for being certain things. Oh, this is a great example. Instagram for, you know, turning into TikTok. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
And the creator is on Twitter, and he's only responding to celebrities, by the way, that are pissed off about it.
Of course.
And he keeps, because I think it was literally a few of them were like, we want to see our friends on the feed. That's why we go on Instagram. That's how we keep up with our friends. It's literally Instagram, because we don't go on Facebook. That's boomer shit.
Yeah, I hate Facebook so much.
Facebook. Well, you know, Instagram's going that direction because they're owned by the same people now. But
yeah, and like it's fine. Like, video is the biggest type of media on the internet right now. Like, it
for sure
the best. And so it's like, of course, natural for companies to want to do the services that perform best and give the people what they want. But this is clearly and very obviously not what we want. We like Instagram for posting photos with our friends and the occasional video and like the occasional meme, but we go on there to see our friends and family and to like interact with close people. It's supposed to be like a photo book, a photo album of memories, and that's all it was. And Facebook was supposed to be the same thing, and it's just turned into a complete farce. And they're doing the same thing with Instagram.
Yeah.
It's awful. We don't want another TikTok. We have a TikTok. No. I don't want to go from one TikTok app to another. I don't care. I don't even use Instagram anymore because it's like, I don't see anything that I care about. Like, I'm on there, I post updates every once in a while, but for the most part, my notifications are turned off. I don't look at it. I don't scroll my feed because it's just ads and like shitty memes and weird baity sex videos. Like,
I've seen
sex,
those.
but it's like it's softcore porn disguised as pranks, and it's just so weird. I saw one of these on Facebook recently, actually, where it was the same girl. She's like all over TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and she's like this prank channel with her husband or boyfriend. And the video I saw on Facebook was the strangest thing. They're walking through a store, like a grocery store, and the boyfriend's pretending to be oblivious, just walking, blah, blah, and she's at the camera, like, shh, like being secret and stuff. And she has this like fake latex ass with like a thong, and she pulls it on over her leggings and is like adjusting the latex as they're walking. And then the whole time she's like walking along with her boyfriend, like shaking her hips, and he's like touching her and unaware that she's wearing a fake ass. And it goes on for like 12 minutes, this video of them just walking through the store and him not noticing. And it's like, what is happening? What is this? Is this
what
like
is that kind of media?
What is that? Is that like,
well,
is that a fetish? Like, what's happening? I
know that Facebook pays a lot of money if your videos are over 10 minutes. It's the same thing we saw on YouTube over 10 years ago. But these content creators on Facebook don't have a brain. And I saw one video and it was obviously fake. They're all fake, by the way.
Yeah.
And it was trying to pull on some heartstrings. It was a military dad coming to see the family, but they put him in this stupid cardboard box that someone can easily walk around and see him. And the people behind were trying to like look in, but they did this for like 12 minutes just looking, and they're like, what's in the box? I don't know what it is. I scrolled to the freaking end of the video, and at the end they're like, oh hey. Right. And like all the videos are like that. There was one video on Facebook when I was scrolling, and I hate scroll Facebook because it makes me laugh so hard, especially the videos.
Yeah.
It was one guy, and I think there was like a fire in the other room. And he had a video, and a firefighter walked by, and you just heard the audio. You were looking at a fucking blank wall for 8 minutes. And then they walked through by the camera again. And it was like, is it that easy to make money in like getting that audience? I don't know why the audience stays. That's why Facebook's so sad. And it's the same thing on Instagram. It's really bad. It's almost as bad as those magicians that are just like, add your age +3.
Yes.
People are like, oh my God.
I was thinking of a purple elephant.
Like, it's all obviously suggestive content. Like,
yes.
Oh, it makes
Think of
me
a color
cringe.
that starts with P. Now think of an animal that starts with E. Obviously, I'm thinking of a purple elephant. Just kidding. I'm thinking of a periwinkle whatever they're called. What are those things called? Oh no.
Eucalyptus?
No. I was thinking eucalyptus though. Like an echidna. I think I was thinking echidna. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of periwinkle echidna.
Yeah, that sounds like one of the comments in the video that is
like no, you thought of that after the purple elephant, because come on, it's the most common thing. It's like so
But I don't know why those are the videos that are getting uploaded to Facebook and Instagram. And then on Instagram, the actual good videos on the reels are re-uploaded TikToks, and the quality is so shit. Because on TikTok, well, that's your main source when you upload a video. You're not going to refilm something different for Instagram. But if you ever downloaded a video from TikTok and already in your camera roll, it looks like shit. And then re-uploading that to Facebook or Instagram, and it's always 5 months late. Like, I just saw a TikTok video going, wow, I can't wait till the Instagrammers get crisped in a couple months.
That's really funny. That's accurate. That's accurate. Instagram is always so far behind on memes, and like for a long ass time, they would get all of their memes from Reddit. I would be scrolling Reddit, and then I'd switch to Instagram, and it would all be the same shit.
Yeah.
Now it's TikTok.
TikTok, and then the posts is Twitter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just Twitter screen grabs. I get excited when I see a Tumblr screen grab. It brings me back.
But... I know. I thought about restarting a Tumblr blog. Actually, I never really ran a Tumblr blog, to be honest, but I thought about it.
I did.
Did you really?
For a very short period of time.
I did too, for like a hot second, but
yeah, it was a Shrek blog.
Oh my God. That's
I called it the Shreklican Church. And I started it after I was in Shrek the Musical, because when I was in Shrek the Musical, I played the cross-dressing wolf, which is very offensive nowadays, and I don't like to look back at that. But that was the character's name. I was also King Harold, and one of the nights the drama teacher is like, we don't have a male role for you, but we're gonna make you like 16 different things because I trust you. Which was funny. But we had a thing before every play, because we'd all get ready in the big boys change room. Everyone would go to the showers, and we would quack before the show. And I was the quack master. I was chosen by a senior when I was in grade 10 to be the new quack master.
Oh, wow.
And I did it for like 3 plays. I was the quack before I had to hand down the quack. But I would bring everyone to the showers, and during Shrek, I'd be like, everyone welcome our youth pastor, and point to the guy playing Shrek, and everyone would cheer. And I made this whole religion, to the fact that the next day at a church service, the one girl who was in the play was like, yeah, my parents mentioned the Shreklican Church and stuff like that. So I knew I had to start this blog, and I started it, and I made really weird religious posts. Like, I made the 12 Shrek commandments. I will bring them up the next podcast.
Yes, please do.
And the blog, which I only ran for like 2 or 3 months before my mind went elsewhere, it got 500 followers.
Holy shit.
which
that's not bad for
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 months. It's good.
yeah, I always thought of revitalizing the Shaklican Church in some manner, either on YouTube or
Yeah, do it.
Facebook. But
Do
yeah,
the Tumblr
Tumblr
blog.
was such a
Let's do
time.
Tumblr blogs, bro. Let's start.
Mm-hmm.
I never I did experience Tumblr as a teenager, but not to the extent that I could have, because I'm big into Supernatural, Marvel,
Yeah.
you know me. Like I was in
Oh,
those
you were,
fandoms.
yeah, the fandom girl at high school.
Yeah, kind of, but like low key. As a
Mhm.
teen, I was like kind of low key a pick me girl, hate it, but I didn't want to be popular. Like I wanted to be different, and like
Mhm.
no, I don't like the Marvel movies just because of the movies. I read comics, which is true.
Mhm.
I read the comics.
Yeah, but you were also in line for every movie back then.
100%. And now I'm heavily critical of like, whatever, but
Yeah.
like I can still enjoy it. Before I was heavily critical just because I wanted to be a snob,
Yeah.
But I was totally in all the fandoms, all that stuff. And so like I had the Tumblr experience in a way. Like I was on there, I was interacting, and I saw the shit posts and like the really popular fandom posts and stuff, but I was never a Tumblr person.
Mhm.
Like I just didn't hang out there. It wasn't my main thing. I liked talking to my friends. I was always messaging my friends, or on Instagram. Instagram was a big one for me for a long time.
Instagram was a pretty big main for me as well. I loved the original Explore page, which, by the way, all this shit that's on our main feed should be on the Explore page.
Absolutely.
Back to Instagram. That's
it's so weird. And you can't even change the order of like your feed.
No. And speaking of the Explore page, it used to be so good because it was literally you pick a photo and you can scroll and all your different fandoms in the algorithm would show up there. Now you choose, like, for example, I follow the Toronto Blue Jays. So I click on a Blue Jays post in the Explore page. Suddenly every post I scroll is all baseball. They're like, oh, you want to look at baseball stuff right now? Well, not all of it.
Yeah. Not all of it at once, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, Tumblr was interesting for me because I also had my own personal blog where I just reblogged a lot of stuff. And but my high school, right at the end of grade 11 and 12, banned Snapchat and Facebook and all that from our phones, like Wi-Fi. And like that's when VPNs were first coming out. So everyone's like, yeah, you get a VPN. I'm like, that sounds illegal. But yeah, so they didn't ban YouTube because all the teachers were like, don't you do that. That's my teaching crux.
Yeah, for sure.
So we still had YouTube, but the only thing I could really do with my laptop when I wasn't editing at school was to flip up Tumblr because they had no idea about Tumblr. And of course, in 2015, before the porn was banned, I'd fucking open my computer in the middle of the cafeteria and just titties and like close.
That was another thing, was the porn on there was like, my God, like this is a whole other topic for a whole other day.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too much into it, but for an app that's mainly made for minors to have that much porn on it.
It was, and it's not just normal porn. It was like very hardcore, like BDSM, degrading.
Yeah.
And now we see this massive trend in younger people of like, they're very open sexually with all of that stuff. And it's just like interesting how our social media as youngins wired our brains to be totally like open and accepting. And it's like cool in a certain way, but at the same time, I find it dangerous.
It is dangerous. And that's why I'm very mixed on the decision of Tumblr getting rid of porn. I mean, everyone stopped using it after they got rid of it.
It killed the user base, but it's also, it's not a platform for porn. There are platforms for porn. Like, it shouldn't be on there.
That easily accessible to everybody.
Exactly. Like, sure, maybe there could be like Tumblr After Dark or something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's like adult content and shit like that. Like, yeah, 100%. That's totally doable to like kind of like segment it, keep it separate, because there are minors who are on there all the time, and it's dangerous for them to be exposed to that kind of stuff constantly. It creates porn addictions and sex addictions and like, and misconceptions about what sex should be like and all this stuff. Anyway, we're going into that topic that I didn't want to get into on this podcast.
Yes, well, join our After Dark podcast, premiering sometime next year.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch base on something funny that happened the other night before we get into our main subject of this podcast. Okay. I texted you 2 a.m.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. 2 a.m. on like a Sunday.
Yeah, it was, you had work the next day, right?
No, I had Monday off, so.
Oh yeah, that was the long weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just up doing my thing, and I got a text from Beeman at 2 a.m. What did it say, Beeman?
Wonderland is on fire.
Holy shit. You were like, so
why is no one talking about this?
I know, you were so urgent and panicked, and you're like, the oldest wooden coaster in the park could have gotten sparked and is on fire, and there's nobody talking about this. You were so certain. Certain.
I've been part of the theme park special interest fandom for a couple of years now. I love theme parks. I really want to take Rosy to Wonderland this year because she's never been.
Yeah, I've never been.
And it was, I go all the time. I have a season's pass. It's a nice gold pass. And I know that park inside and out. I love that park, even though it's expensive and the lines are getting worse. But I know how to manage the day there, and it's my happy place. I know that place really well, and I love the coasters there. There's some really wicked awesome coasters. Anyone that's been there knows. So when I go onto TikTok at 1 a.m, because I don't have a sleep schedule, and I see a video of someone going, "Yo, Wonderland's on fire" from the street, I'm like, okay, this is fake. So I go to Twitter because I thought, well, this has to be #1 trending topic if it's real. Nothing. I'm scrolling on the trending topics. I'm like, oh, so it is fake. Someone just made that up. Yeah, totally. Because to me, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And especially since the video said that looks like it's over in the water park, and it was right like behind the behemoth, which the water park is, and that's also with the Great Canadian Mindbuster, the first ever coaster in Wonderland, wooden coaster. It gives me a headache, but it's good. Is back there. And then I started scrolling Twitter to see what people are saying, and then it got confirmed by a few other people. Yes, they evacuated us after the Victoria Day fireworks. There was a lot of smoke coming in, and there was videos posted. Only one news outlet had it right away, and that was City TV, which had, and this, by the way, you might think, oh, you're just one of the first to the scene, Jacob, being in the Wonderland Phantom. You're the first to the scene, Coby. And no, this was like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
So the only person that I can think that loves breaking news as much as me was the person sitting virtually beside me here.
I love the way you describe me as it's not because I like roller coasters or theme parks. I like breaking news. It doesn't matter the topic of news.
Well, I just remember a few months ago, we were like right when the Russian-Ukraine war just started, like literally 2 hours after we got the announcement. And I think we were ready to record a podcast, and you're like, we might not be here in a few weeks.
Yeah, I do like news. Yeah. Both my parents are journalists.
Yes.
And they went to school for it. So it's like in my blood to know what's going on. And I like to know it now. I told you that, I think, when you were texting me. It's like, all right, well, I need to know. I need damage report, loss. Yeah. Like, let's see. And
I think you're like me a lot in this sense, where I find that we're very unique people, where our friends know who we are and that we like a whole bunch of different things. So I know that when I get news that Wonderland's on fire and no one's talking about it, I have to tell people, or else they're going to tell me tomorrow or in 2 days. And I'm going to be like, that's old news. I knew that right away. If you know I love Wonderland, you know that I already know this. Why are you telling me this? So I have to be the first to break it. And I know that you're the same way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like with the Ukraine and Russia like war, I love, the history of Ukraine and learning about that culture and everything like that. And I wanted to visit Ukraine back in like 2015, but of course it was not safe then. And then I didn't have the money, and now it's not safe again. And so like when that war broke out, it was like I was all over it for days, weeks, and like when I'm super into something and there's news about it, I'm there. But if it's like the Canada's Wonderland thing, it was more like, oh my god, that's insane, I want to know more. And now I can't believe we're so early.
Although I love go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I've come across like crimes before, like the police are there and stuff like that. Like I've seen like a broken window and like in a store and shit. And it's like, oh my god, I want to know who took stuff. I want to know who did it. Like I was gonna go to school to be a criminal profiler and be one of those whodunit people. But
you went with film, aren't you happy?
Instead, I'm just gonna write the whodunits.
Yes, you're gonna write it. You're gonna be the new Ryan Johnson instead of I know. Jane Austen. No, she's the Pride and Prejudice bitch.
He wrote a book called Emma, though. So.
Yes. Who's the one I'm thinking of that writes all the murder mysteries? It's not Mary Shelley. That's Frankenstein.
I love
Agatha Christie. I'm trying to think.
Christie.
I wanted to say Agatha Christie, and the only one I could think of was fucking Ryan Johnson because of the Knives Out movies.
I know you said that. I was
Such a good movie.
Yeah, he's got some good movies.
Yeah. I just wanted to earlier point out that you were so calm talking about how into the breaking news and wanting to help out Russia and Ukraine. And I'm over here comparing that to Canada's Wonderland having a minor fire.
I know you were so, but it's because it's what you were into, but you were so like, oh my God, all this coaster's on fire. It's gone. We lost it forever. And it's like a bathroom was on fire.
Yeah, it was actually the wheelhouse to the water slides. So 5 slides are out of commission. Only 1 or 2 slides actually got damaged. But the wheelhouse that operates those slides, which I don't know why they actually said it wasn't the fireworks. I don't know if I believe that or not, but it could have been an overheating thing. They said it maintained it pretty well. And the old coaster I was so concerned about has no damage and was running yesterday.
Yay.
So, although I kind of wanted it to burn because I went on it this year and I can say I was one of the last people on it, 2 weeks before it was gone. Just a little braggy thing about
bastard.
Me. Of course, I don't want any structures to of course.
No.
Thanks for listening to our little musical break right there. We just needed a little quick breather before we get into our big topic for this episode of the podcast. Now, we don't have a sponsor that we would normally put in here, but Rosy, do you have a sponsorship ad or anything that we can pretend to be like a real podcast with?
Support your local tarot streamers like Dalt Wisney at Twitch.
I love Dalt.
I love Dalt. Everybody, if you're into like tarot, you know what? Instead of an ad, let's do a little shout out.
That's a great idea. Yeah, you support others.
Exactly. If you're into tarot, he also has a podcast that he's doing live on his Twitch stream every week, which is about like occult stuff and conspiracies and ghosts and spooky things. And it's really, really cool. I'll be on a few episodes. I might get Beeman on a couple episodes. So definitely check out Dalt Wisney. He does tarot streaming, tarot readings. He's like the best tarot reader I know. I love him. I trust him. He's amazing. One of my closest friends. Dalt Wisney on Twitch. Definitely go check him out. Give him some love. Tell him you came from Lobby Snacks.
Yep, Lobby Snacks had sent you to.
Coby and Rosy sent you. If you say Coby and Rosy sent you, maybe you'll get a little sneaky treat on his stream. He always does little giveaways and stuff. So
yes. Yeah, I tuned into a few of his streams, and I just love the vibe. He also has his graphics set up really nice. That's something very eye-catching, and his prices actually aren't too bad compared to some other tarot streamers.
Yes, his prices are so reasonable, and he like really cares. He's not doing it for the money. If he could do it for free, he would. Like, he's that kind of person. And all of his stream graphics are done by his lovely fiance Brandon. So it's like, it's very close-knit community, but it's not it's a smaller community, but it's not a small community. It's like there's a lot of people, and it's full of love and acceptance and welcoming. It's just a great little spot to hang out. So if you're looking for
friends of Dalt is friends of the podcast, and you mentioned all the spooky stuff, and we're right into that too.
Oh, so. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, if you're into what we talk about on here, you'll definitely like Dalt's podcast. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
that was our little non-sponsored shout out break.
Non-sponsored shout out.
Non-sponsored shout out. We'll have songs eventually.
Eventually we'll do our little jingles.
Okay, so our big subject we wanted to talk about this week, of course, we are a film podcast. We are sitting in our lobbies of the big movie theaters, and what's coming to the movies? Well, it seems like it's nothing but Marvel for the foreseeable future. No other movies are ever going to be released again. WB is on a sinking ship, and indie movies, well, they could just go fuck themselves, right? It's Marvel's game here.
Marvel has won the monopoly. It's Disney,
like the cash cow that is being milked, well, forever dry. Over the past 2 weeks, I think it was 2 weekends ago, Kevin Feige, the Lord and Savior of Marvel, had a Comic-Con and panel, and this was a big Comic-Con because this is where they were to announce the end of Phase 4, Phase 5, and a brief little hello of Phase 6 into Marvel. And there hasn't been a Comic-Con in 2 years, so this was going to be a big one. And I think a lot of people were looking forward to it because Phase 4 has been all over the place. I've kept up with it. Rosy hasn't as much, but a lot of people have the same complaints that Phase 1, 2, and 3 really led up to Thanos really well. Phase 4 has little hints of stuff, but it's kind of like, So Phase 5 and Phase 6, really, people were looking forward to see if there was a theme coming, and it looks like there might have. So this is the slate. We have a few shows coming up. She-Hulk is coming out in 2 weeks.
Yes, I saw the little She-Hulk preview. It looks so cool. Yay, She-Hulk.
I liked it. Like, a lot of people were complaining about, they nerfed the Hulk. I don't care.
Like, she is that in the comics too, and people will always complain about it. They'll always find something to complain about, especially when it's a female character who is headlining, especially in like superhero roles and stuff like that. And she's not like a stupid,
she's a lawyer.
She's a lawyer
for superheroes. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a fall, it looks like.
Here we go. It didn't fall, it just turned off.
Oh, it just turned off. I was like, oh, gone connection. But yeah, it's pod bloopers. I can't even hear you anymore.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my webcam now. This is lame. Oh, because my phone died. That's why. What was I saying?
She-Hulk and women.
She-Hulk. Right. Yes. Yeah. People will always complain, and it's a female headliner, so of course they're gonna complain. But yeah, I saw some still pictures, and it looks really cool. She looks awesome. I might check that one out. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I always say I might check them out, and I never do. So probably won't.
I'll let you know. Well, as we do the podcast more and more, I'll be watching it. So I'll give updates on if it's any good.
Yeah.
So She-Hulk's coming out. We have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is coming out in November, which, the first one was good. I don't think it was best picture quality, but I thought it was pretty good Marvel film for what it was.
Mhm.
And the sequel, everyone was worried about because of the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman. But the trailer looks actually really well filmed, and the music's in it awesome, and I'm excited for that one.
I heard really, really good things. I haven't watched the trailer yet myself, but I heard it looks amazing.
After Black Panther, I believe there's a few shows they're doing, like an Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which will be interesting, but they really was focusing on Phase 5. So Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, the third Ant-Man film is coming out in February, which is going to show the new introduction to Kang as the villain. And also Bill Murray's in the movie.
Ooh, what?
Yeah, they revealed that at the trailer, apparently, that no one has seen except the Comic-Con people.
I love Bill Murray. I love Bill Murray.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. Kang, of course, did a brief appearance in Loki season 1, which universally from all my favorite film people on YouTube has said that's the only good Marvel show. If you haven't seen it, Rosie, I do recommend that being the one you watch.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen it.
It's actually like the art design is beautiful. Like I couldn't believe I was watching Marvel.
Nice.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp, we'll have Jonathan Majors come back as Kang, great actor. Secret Invasion is coming to Disney Plus in spring 2023.
Like a show?
Show.
Interesting. See, like I mentioned earlier when we were talking about comic books and stuff, I read the comic books. I was a big Marvel Comics fan. And so Secret Invasion and Secret Wars is a biggie. And it's one of my favorite plot lines in the Marvel, comics. And so like
Well,
it's interesting because in the comics, they're the villain.
Skrull bad.
Skrull bad. But in the movies, they've already been made sympathetic, and they've already shown they're not bad. They're just misunderstood. And so it's interesting, and I'm curious to see how they handle that and how they
I have a feeling they're going to be doing some retconning work. Not maybe retcon's the right word, but they're going to flip the script in Secret Invasion because, well, you already know this. The last thing they announced is Secret Wars is coming in 2025.
Yeah, which that's the biggie.
That's the biggie.
Yeah.
So I think they're doing this show purely just to make Kree bad, or not Kree good. No, Kree bad.
Kree bad. Because the Kree...
No, Kree good. Was it complicated? I didn't read it.
Kinda. It's like they're both bad, but the Skrulls were bad, and the Kree are better, but still bad. But it's like the Kree were allies with Captain Marvel and stuff and all that. But yeah, I don't know how they're gonna handle it in the movies. My memory's a little foggy of the comics, so I don't want to say anything that's falsified and get crucified for it. Falsified, so that's false and get crucified for it. So correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, in the comics it was Skrull's bad.
And I just want to quickly diverge a little bit, kind of going back to our Instagram conversation. Are you bombarded on Instagram with and Facebook fake Marvel confirmed things at all?
No, not really.
Well,
not that I've noticed.
Because I divulge in it a little bit, and we'll get more into later of how I'm more of a recent Marvel fan and all that kind of stuff. Bunch of stuff, I can't avoid it. It pops up because Secret Wars was announced. This clickbaity, Tobey Maguire will return to Secret Wars and he will be in the black suit, just like in the comics. And it's like, well, for one thing, where the hell did you get that? Yeah. Another thing, Sony owns Coby.
Yeah.
So where's the Sony announcement?
Yeah. That's so silly.
It's all I see from Marvel, these fake confirms, and it's just people trying to get likes and stuff like that. And a lot of times they're like, no, we were right because Andrew and Toby, we were right about them in Spider-Man. It's like, you made an educated guess. Yeah. And you know what? Secret Wars would be a good event to bring back Toby and Andrew, most likely, because it's very multiversal. But it's 2025. All we know is they're making it. We don't even know the director.
Yeah, that's it. It's just been announced. There's nothing that's confirmed. Yeah, like
I hate clickbaity.
it's
That
still in
Instagram.
the pre-production stages. It hasn't even like gone to
I
press.
swear they put in the copyright for it a day before Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like that's how recent
Yeah. I
their
bet.
ideas are. Back to it. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming out in May of 2023. They say it's going to be the finale for this Guardians, and it's going to be rocket centered.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
No, because I know what's gonna happen already.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Why is
I
it not
love
Star-Lord?
I know, right? I love Guardians.
Mhm.
Very close, special to my heart. Chris Pratt, fuck you. Um, James Gunn, come on. Like it sucks when people are shitty, but I still want to enjoy
Yes.
what came of that. So I'm looking forward to that. I gotta see this new Thor movie with
Oh, yes, the Guardians are in the Thor movie. I
yeah.
saw that in theaters a few weeks ago.
Oh nice. How was it? How'd you like it?
So if anyone in that's listening to this has been in the Marvel world, they know that a lot of people have shit on Thor Love and Thunder, saying that every other thing is a joke, that it's weirdly CGI'd, and there's a whole thing that like this whole topic for another podcast of how Marvel doesn't pay their CGI artists, because they're non-union. But
Oh.
there was a bunch of shit going around with that. So I thought, okay, I'm going into Thor Love and Thunder with low expectations. And what I found is about half the time I was still a Marvel movie. Like, although generic, I was enjoying it. They got Thor and Natalie Portman right for once. I did enjoy that relationship in this film. I did not enjoy the screaming goat joke from that they purposely wrote from 10 years ago.
No, they did not.
Thor was gifted for saving a community with the Guardians, these giant screaming goats. And Taiki said in an interview that they got the idea from the screaming goat meme from Taylor Swift, which, by the way, was 9 fucking years ago. So that was a massive notch down.
Taika, why?
But the movie is still in Taika's style.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying to replicate Ragnarok.
Mhm.
And you know what? Like, it looks great. Some of the CGI is questionable, but it looks great. And he actually took some risks. But, the part of Ragnarok that was so great is no one was expecting it to be great.
Yeah.
Because it's a Thor movie, and the Thor movies are notoriously not great.
Yeah.
But he made them great. But the thing also is, like, because Loki died in Infinity War, and the new Loki is on a different time plane and stuff like that. So Tom Hiddleston's not in this movie, and there's a few other people like Anthony Hopkins not in this movie, and there's a lot of actors that enhance the Thor original movies and Ragnarok that are not in this movie. So they really made it a jokey film. Christian Bale was good, but they didn't really do much with him, which is unfortunate, but he was still very good. But I came out of it thinking, I think the internet shit too hard on it, because I enjoyed myself, but it's nowhere near the best Marvel movie. And it was cringe at times.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
I know the screaming goat thing. I didn't know that. And that is that's bad. Like that's
bad.
Old, man. That's lazy. And what? Like, do a little research into what's relevant.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Why are we so stuck in the
Yeah,
past?
that was my big complaint about it. And also the jokes, I just wanted one scene where like the stakes seemed high. I don't mind Marvel movies that just because I hate Marvel movies that are like, oh, the whole world's going to just be destroyed if we don't do this. And it's like Spider-Man's off screen. You're not going to kill him off screen if the whole world's destroyed. Right. Like, I can never take those seriously. So I like grounded films where the stakes aren't high. But if you add a fucking joke when kids are getting kidnapped in the movie, it's like, I can't take it seriously.
Yeah, there's like a time and place for jokes, and like they have to be dispersed. You still have to have the emotional parts of the movie for it to be impactful, and for the jokes to be impactful. Otherwise, it's just like a Monty Python movie.
Yeah, and exactly. And that's, I think, what they were trying to do with this one. I would watch it again though. Like it was one of those I would turn on probably. And it's just you see Chris Hemsworth act like Thor. That's like what the positive I can say about it. It's like kind of fun.
Yeah.
And the Guardians are in it only small time, but they're good. But Doctor Strange 2 was still my favorite, one of my favorite Marvel movies I've seen ever.
That's the one I need to see. Have not seen it.
I was not expecting it. Like I knew Sam the Man Raimi was directing, and I was really excited for it. But I watched it in theaters. I was blown away just by some of the risks that they took. The plot I found was really good, and it was fun. Doctor Strange is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah.
So I have a bit of a bias.
Yeah, fair enough. He's not a personal favorite of mine, but I really, really like his stories and like all the shit that he like. It's endless with Doctor Strange. You could do anything with him.
You could do anything.
And I think that's their strongest character.
Avenger right now.
Yeah, big time. And like, I gotta see the second one. The first one was so good.
I love the first one, and the second one is great. And Wanda's the villain in it, which you get to see her be a badass bitch in it. It is so great. And you know, some people were mad at it because it didn't have overload of cameos. I was like, thank God it doesn't have overload of cameos.
Yeah, it doesn't need to all the time. We don't need all the characters in every movie every time.
But I was surprised with myself because it came on Disney Plus, and I was sitting there one night and I was like, I just want to put on something that I could, like, you know, I like to have stuff on in the background while I'm thinking of stuff, video ideas, podcast ideas, whatever I'm doing. And I turned on Doctor Strange 2, and I was completely entranced again, even though I knew what was happening. I was so into it. I was so ready for the scenes I knew were coming. And halfway through, the internet cut out, which is why physical media is the way to go. I have to get a copy of it. But then a few days later, I continued it on my bed again, just thinking I need to go to sleep. I need to put something on. I watched the rest of the fucking movie. So I was, that's probably the best of Phase 4 right now. Besides Loki. Loki's the best show. Doctor Strange 2 is the best of Phase 4.
Cool.
But moving on. So Loki season 2 has been confirmed for next summer. Cool. Also, Marvel's Echo, which she was in the Hawkeye show that was at Christmas, which Hawkeye wasn't bad. It's Christmas vibes.
Oh, neat. Okay. I like Christmas vibes.
Yeah, and it introduced Kate Bishop, who's played by Haley Steinfeld, who did an amazing job as Kate Bishop.
I love Kate Bishop. I love Haley Steinfeld. Like, great
it's
casting.
It's not like the greatest thing Marvel's ever done, but it's just Christmas vibes and Haley Steinfeld.
Florence Pugh.
The best part of Black Widow? Question mark.
The best part of Black Widow. And maybe Hopper.
Yeah, he was good. I keep forgetting he was in it, but he was good.
He's so good in it. Yeah, I enjoyed the Black Widow movie because it had Florence Pugh in it.
Yeah,
I love Florence Pugh.
I also I liked how the beginning of Black Widow framed it as like it's a human trafficking story, spy thriller, and I wish they stuck more to that. It started feeling really Marvel-y later on, and then the human trafficker main dude was like, "You can't smell me, so you can't hit me," or no, he was smelly, so you can't hit me, and that's oversimplified. That's what Moist Critical said in his review. That his simplified, he was smelly, so they Black Widows couldn't defeat him.
God.
Anyways, off of Black Widow.
And then I remember they announced Ironheart. That's really
just news as we're recording today. RuPaul legend Shea Coulee is going to be in Ironheart.
Ooh.
Blade, November 3rd, 2023, with Mahershala.
Oh.
Playing Blade.
Cool. I like that. I can get behind that.
Agatha, Coven of Chaos is coming to Disney Plus. Agatha Harkness was in WandaVision, and played by Catherine Hahn, the legendary Catherine Hahn, might I put that, who's also going to be in the Knives Out sequel. So I'm very excited for that.
I need to see Knives Out. I've never seen it. Don't crucify me.
I didn't watch it for a long time. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Let's just say though, I watched it and immediately bought the 4K after I watched it.
I know I'm gonna love it.
Yeah. Daredevil Born Again, Disney Plus show in spring 2024, with rumored to be an R rating, and instead of the Marvel 6-episode format, they're making it 18 episodes.
Wow.
So that was a big announcement everyone was really
That's
excited
huge.
about.
The R rating, that's gonna
Mhm.
change it, because that's what Daredevil needs. It really needs it. It's like he's an underground street fighter, dude. He needs an R rating.
Which Kevin Feige also said in the panel that Spider-Man and Daredevil going forward will be the ground level heroes of the MCU. It's not going to be, Spider-Man in the Iron Spider suit anymore. They're all going to be ground level heroes. Captain America New World Order is coming on May 3rd, 2024, with Sam Wilson as Captain America.
Oh, that's exciting.
That'll be a fun one.
Movie.
And then to cap off Phase 5, the Thunderbolts are coming on July 26, 2024, which has been teased in a few movies with Elaine from Seinfeld recruiting a bunch of people.
Yeah. Where did she first come from? Because I remember seeing her in
she was in Black Widow, and
yeah.
she was supposed to be that was supposed to be her first appearance, but COVID messed things around. She first showed up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where Sam Wilson became Captain America, but there was US Agent in that show. She recruited US Agent.
Gotcha.
Which is played by Kurt Russell's son.
Ah.
Yeah, so Thunderbolts should be good. It's like the Suicide Squad of the MCU. And then that's when he said that Phase 6 will open with the Fantastic Four. That'll open up Phase 6, which, gives possibilities to Doctor Doom and Secret Wars and stuff like that.
Dr. Doom.
And there's a heavy rumor right now, and I don't know if I trust rumors because I told you about Instagram and everything, but heavy rumor that Doctor Doom may make an appearance in Black Panther.
That would make a lot of sense. Yes, I want to see who they cast. I want to see his costume. I like Doctor Doom. I think he's a really interesting villain, and I like the Fantastic Four, and I hope they do them right.
Yeah, right.
Do them some justice.
Hasn't never been right.
It's never been right.
And then they said that Phase 6 will end with 2 Avengers movies in the same year, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Which a lot of people are theorizing that they're not even going to connect to one another. They'll be in the same universe, but it'll be very fun. Now, when they announced the slate, I felt a bit better about Marvel because those are a lot of exciting titles. I just hope they don't exhaust everybody with the content. I hope they try new things like they did with Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
And I hope that they lead it up right. That's what they need again. They need another slam dunk like Endgame, because a lot of people gave up after Endgame, including yourself.
Kind of. It was more like I was getting exactly how you described, burnt out from all like constant content and just like being overwhelmed by it.
Well,
and people's opinions and all this shit, and I just didn't care anymore. But I watched Endgame, bawled my eyes out. They mean a lot to me, and I still love my Marvel characters, but it was so much to follow and so much to keep up with, and I just fell behind and didn't care enough to catch up.
Well, my complaint with the Disney Plus shows, because initially this sounds great because it's like the movies are the big comic events and the shows are like comic books.
Yeah.
And I thought that I think it's still a great concept, but with how many's coming out, like how do I explain like all this backstory to my mom, who's a casual Marvel viewer that'll watch Guardians 3? What if like someone shows up from the Disney Plus shows that like it doesn't make sense, right?
Exactly. And it's tough too. It's like that in the comics, like in a way. But if you have like a certain run for a character that's like a standalone, you can read that and it doesn't matter. You like don't need the context. And so I think that's what they need to implement a little bit of both. And like the TV shows, comic books, they're little special runs for the characters. That's perfect. That's great. You can have some lore built in there, some world building that affects the movies, but nothing major. Everything major should be in the movies and should be in the main source of viewership. It's not fair to force people to watch every single bit of your content. It's not going to happen, and you're going to disappoint a lot of people and like lose fans that way. And so it's like finding that balance of major events versus world building and lore. I feel like they're still trying to get that that right.
Yeah, and I feel like phase 4 will always be known as the messy phase for, I think, trying to get it right.
Yeah, which is fine. Like they
Mhm.
introduced a new concept of the shows and everything. Of course, like give them a chance to
Mhm.
obviously I'm speaking to myself when I say this, but like give them a chance to like figure it out, get their formula, because it is like media, and this goes for like video marketing, films, TV shows, anything, commercials. It's like trial and error. It's like, is this going to work this time? Let's see. Is this going to work? Let's test
Mhm.
it out. And if it doesn't, we'll change it up the next time, blah, 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 whatever. So it's like testing the waters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer Waters from She-Hulk. Is that her name?
Walters.
Walters.
Yeah, I think.
Well, see, that kind of brings me into my next subject of I've been able to keep up with a lot of them, but that's because I've been a fairly recent Marvel fan. Unlike you, I didn't read many of the comics. My dad was never much into superhero content. He's caught up now, and he actually quite enjoys a lot of the movies, but he always had this preconceived notion that they were all the same thing. So we never went to see any. I saw my first Marvel movie was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
Nice.
Family loved it, so we saw Volume 2. And that's literally what I watched before Infinity War.
Oh my God.
I didn't see Infinity War in theaters. I saw it on a friend's couch, and I was the only one in the house, and their dad had a box where we could watch movies. And I just picked Infinity War because I seen all the memes.
Nice.
And I was like, let's try to piece this together. Oh, I saw Spider-Man. That's a lie. I did see
Right.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
I remember you saying they're going to see that.
Yeah, I saw it with the Emoji Movie. It was a drive-in movie theater, so you had to watch the Emoji Movie first to get to Spider-Man.
Oh.
And I thought, you know what? That's great. I love memes. I love saying, I'm going to see the Emoji Movie, guys. 20 minutes in, I was like, it's not even so bad. It's shit. Emoji Movie is shit. People say that Thor Love and Thunder is shit. Have you watched the Emoji Movie?
I have not watched the Emoji Movie. I refuse. I can't believe they made an emoji movie.
It's like the most catered shit. What are the kids into? Emojis. So we better make an emoji. Oh, they live in the phone of the main character who's in love. And they have software. It was also a giant commercial. Like Facebook and Instagram were in the movie. Candy Crush. There was an entire scene dedicated to Candy Crush in that film.
That's crazy. This is content for children.
Mm-hmm.
There are protective laws about advertising to children and selling to children, and they always find sneaky fucking ways to do it. And it's just like that. And it ain't chill with me.
It ain't chill with me.
Yeah.
There's a whole, I'd love to talk about to you on a podcast about, you know, these creators with their children and how, you know, I think there's going to be a big lawsuit in the future, and there'll be a lot of compensation for privacy laws and advertising also to children and Coco Melon, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by it. I'm also so sad about it
Mm-hmm.
because it shouldn't be like that at all.
It's dangerous. It's scary. And it's like preying on literally innocent children.
Literally babies.
Like, and it's crazy to me. This is a topic for another podcast again, so I won't get into it.
All right, well, back to Marvel.
Back to Marvel.
Yeah. But I saw Homecoming.
Yes.
And then I really like Robert Downey Jr. in Homecoming. So I'm like, okay, I need to see the Iron Man movies. But I watched Infinity War while also Googling everything to understand what the hell was going on. And I ended up really liking the movie. I think Infinity War is a great movie about a villain. It's about Thanos. The Avengers are not the main character. It's a movie about Thanos, which I really liked.
Yeah, it provided insight into him and all that stuff and his motivations. It was really cool that way.
Mm-hmm. So after I saw Infinity War, that kind of sparked my Marvel start. And that's when I went back and I watched as much as I could before Endgame. And I had a very good understanding, and I was in the theater seat for Endgame. And then I had to do the COVID break. And then, you know, like I was so excited for, Far From Home happened right after. So I went to the theaters to see that. And then COVID, then Black Widow, which my friend has a little home theater. So we bought it on Disney Plus that day and watched it all there. And then all the shows. And WandaVision was right down my alley of, the old TV shows and format.
Watch.
Yeah, you need to watch WandaVision.
I need to watch. It's high up on the list because it's so cool. It's such a cool concept.
Yeah, it's every episode is like a new decade, and like it's a murder mystery pretty much. Try to figure out what the hell's going on the whole show.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
And it's cool that they did that. It's like because it's a comic run, so yeah, it's really interesting. I like that. I have some favorite comic runs and some spin-offs and stuff. And I really here's a big nerdy thing. If I could write a series for Marvel, be a rescue. Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Her iron suit. She wore it briefly in Infinity War. But yeah, I want to write a little rescue spin-off because she has her own series, her own comic run that I didn't read all of. I think I read the first issue or something like that. Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering, but it's really cool. And like we were saying about the shows and being comic runs, like they can do anything. They can take any character they want and really expand and like give young creative writers like a chance to write their own spin-offs and stuff like that. And I know Marvel has done contests in the past for writers to like get published in the comic books with Marvel. And so it'd be really, really cool if they did something like that for like filmmakers and screenwriters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you have a spin-off idea or like a hero idea, like send it to us.
The world is open.
Yeah, and they could totally do it. And they should.
They could do anything. So they should do something like that.
Yeah. If I had the resources and the money and the company, I would be doing that. It'd be so cool.
Give back to the fans.
Exactly. Like,
that made them. But yeah, that's really exciting that Pepper Potts has not only a comic run, but a vagina candle.
I don't like Gwyneth Paltrow. She's not my Pepper Potts. I'm so pissed off. It should have been.
Who would you cast?
Jessica Chastain.
Oh, easily. I never thought of that, but yes.
Yeah, Jessica Chastain, or you could do even Amy Adams, or Rachel McAdams was supposed to be Pepper Potts, but scheduling conflicts. But she would have been amazing.
Yeah,
so.
She's really good in Doctor Strange too.
Anybody but Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes.
I don't like that woman. She was recently talking. She came under fire for saying that celebrities of children of celebrities have it the hardest or something like that, have it really hard. I forget exactly what she said.
They have no idea what's outside their bubble.
Let me look for this really quick. Gwyneth. Yeah, here's what she says. As the child of someone, you get access other people don't have, so the playing field is not level in that way. However, I really do feel that once your foot is in the door, you unfairly got in, then you almost have to work twice as hard and be twice as good.
Oh, so she's defending
nepotism. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, yeah, your dad is this guy and he like got you the job, but then you have to like work twice as hard to keep it. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah. We haven't even got the job.
Like if you do a shitty job, your dad's just going to get you another job. Like that's how nepotism works.
Yeah. And like the fact that, even if they do a shitty job, they're still going to have an audience and a fan base. That's what I hate when people that have that kind of stuff always talk about, oh, like I'm not famous. And it's like, you can literally start up a Twitch or a YouTube channel and instantly, who'd you get bit by?
The kitty. What the hell? I was just talking so good about you. You didn't mean to, I don't think.
Okay.
What the hell? Anyway.
But yes, to go off my rant, like they can so easily make it in the world with any way that they need to. Like, so it doesn't work out. Well, yeah, you're this celebrity's kid, so just start a Twitch channel. Or like you're gonna have instant following.
Yeah. Oh, you lost that headlining job as a fucking main character in this blockbuster movie. That's fine. your life is not over. You don't have to worry about what you're going to eat for the next month or where you're going to live.
Off of that tangent, which I love that tangent, that was fun.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting parallel listening to my opinion versus your opinion when it comes to Marvel, because we both still like Marvel, but I'm obviously a newer fan within the last 5 years, and you were a fan from the start. An old veteran, and it's we always want to see what's best for it.
For sure.
We also want to see what's best for film wise.
Of course. And it's an amazing like historical moment in film that we're living through, where like, God, it's all superhero movies.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Like, it'll be interesting to kind of look back and analyze like society with the media that we're consuming constantly. And it's very, the parallels there. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. And I can be as big of a snob as I want, but bottom line is these Marvel movies are a form of art. It's a form of expression. And so growing up with it, I fell out of it. I was really highly critical. I just stopped liking it on, etc. There's like so many reasons why, but I still love it. I still love the lessons it brings and all this stuff. And then you, as a new fan, you're showing me that it's still loved and it's still appreciated. And I have like a pessimistic brain. And so it's like when I don't like something, it's like, fuck, everyone thinks it's shit. It's shit now. But it's shit. Not. It's not. People still really enjoy it. They're still like, it's still important. It's still impactful. Like little kids are still growing up with it, still seeing these characters and, loving them, which is so cool.
Yeah. To me, it's like, yes, they're not the greatest film out there, and I love myself a good made film, and I think that indie film should make a huge comeback. I don't like some of the Disney-ified of Marvel, and the cash cow and everything, but to me, it's beautiful not only seeing each movie as a piece of art, but this is the first time a cinematic universe has worked, and my writer brain loves creating stories where they connect.
Yep.
And to see that successfully work in a world, it hasn't happened successfully before in Hollywood.
Yeah, not really. Besides like Quentin Tarantino. But
that's it. That's barely.
Yeah, like some directors, some writers, they have their own little universes, but it's never been like that. Besides, even Star Wars to a certain extent didn't.
They just sequels pretty well, and then they after Marvel started doing some stuff, but
they got a little Disney-fied, but that's not fair to say actually, because they had so much deep lore and they had their own series and stuff. So Star Wars is like a similar what's it called, comparison. It's a fair comparison, but Marvel has just like blown that out of the water and made it so mainstream.
And Scorsese may say that it is like a theme park, but guess who likes theme parks? Me. Canada's Wonderland caught fire the other day, and no news outlet except one reported on the fire of my favorite theme park. There's 5 water slides fucking closed, Rosy.
I know, dude. Oh my God, that's really funny.
Hey, that was stirring up there.
That was a great little connector. Oh my God.
Just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all connected.
Nice. It all connects. You know what else connects?
What?
Another recent news story that we haven't touched on yet.
Oh, yes, it is time, podcast friends. Right at the end of our podcast, we always like to do a fluff piece now. That's starting today.
Starting today. My God, where do we start? I mean, it's not exactly related to like film necessarily, unless you watch The Crown. But there's a little hint for you.
Well, I think it's okay to talk about because I'm a huge fan of Princess Diana. We all know this.
Oh, yeah.
Our Di. Love Our Di. But her son right now is in the middle of a controversy. One of the royals haven't been in controversy, honestly. But this one, Prince William, the future King of England, has been reported to be cheating on his wife the Duchess of Cambridge, I think that's her name. I don't know. Catherine. Cheating on Miss Catherine. Kate. Because she won't peg him in the bedroom. So he found someone who would. Welcome to our fluff piece. What do you make of this, Rosie?
It is like something you would hear of old Victorian royals. You know, it's like an old story.
A bit of a throwback here to the
It
14th
feels like
century.
Because it's like so scandalous and so, oh my God, I can't believe that. But like, I mean, besides the cheating, who fucking cares?
I know. Well, this is my opinion. And of course, I hate Charles for cheating on Diana like he did. But the reason why Charles cheated on Diana is because he was basically forced to marry Diana because he wasn't allowed to marry Camilla, who he loved. Yeah. And that was a theme with the royals. You never marry who you really love. And I believe William does love Kate. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about him. But if the man wants something up his ass, the future king of England, he should receive something up his ass.
I know that you're saying that like to get a laugh, but you have a very solid point. He is a human being just like everybody else. He has desires, he has needs and wants, and if they're not being met, that's a shame. Like he deserves to experience that and to feel that if it's what he enjoys.
And maybe he should have brought Kate to a marriage therapist to talk about this instead of cheating.
Maybe they should have talked about it or figured something out. But
I just really want to know who they haven't. This is another like Wonderland story where it was only reported a few times. No one knows who this girl is.
Yeah.
No one knows what she paid. Yes.
And how threatened is she?
But also, if he didn't want to cheat, but he wanted something up his ass, doesn't he have like servants to do that?
Wouldn't that still be cheating? And also then that would be exploitation and
true. So he'd rather take the cheating route and just found a bloke in England who would put it up his ass.
Yeah.
Wow. You learn a lot listening to Lobby Snacks.
I want to get the girl on who did it.
Yes.
The person.
If you're out there.
The person who did it. If you're out there, please send me an email.
Yeah.
Love to have a conversation. It'll remain completely anonymous.
We will put a voice changer on you.
Voice changer, no camera, no nothing. I just want to talk.
We just want to talk. And that's what we do here on Lobby Snacks. I had a very fun time today, Rosie.
This is a great one.
Yeah, we just, and this is a direction we want to go. We loved doing the games. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the games in the future if you listen to our first 2 episodes, because those are extremely fun. If you have not listened to episode 2 in particular, we had a lot of fun with spooky cryptids and making them into movies.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was fun. Yeah. We'll definitely do more of the games, but we just like to talk about what's
we're going to talk about modern movies, biggest news, fluff pieces like Prince William, things that have annoyed us, like the Wonderland thing.
Yeah, anything that's like kind of pop culture-y.
Anything like that. And we always, we pretend like we're sitting down in the lobby waiting for our movie to begin. Mm-hmm. And what do you do in the lobby while you're waiting for the movie? You shit talk about movies. And
you talk about recent
life.
Yeah, recent stuff.
So actually, it would be great if someone, one of our viewers, brought this podcast before their movie and sat and listened.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be so cool. I love that. Or like on the way to the theater, you're driving, you're listening to us talk about movies. That'd be so cool. I love that idea. Yeah, we got a lot planned, so definitely expect more podcasts to be coming out more frequently.
Spotify and Apple and a few other places. Just look up Lobby Snacks. Of course, if you are listening to us already on Spotify and Apple, we are also on YouTube. Woodward Cinemas, WOODIR Cinemas. That is where I upload a lot of my own material, and the video of the podcast go up there. And we're also trying some new things. We're going to post clips of the podcast. If you thought that it was really funny that Rosie went off about Pepper Potts' vagina,
I did not.
we will make a clip for that for you to send to your friends.
Oh my God. All right.
All right. Rosie, anything going on? Anywhere people can find you? Any exciting things coming up?
Yeah, actually, I recently started an ePal. So if you go on epal.gg and search for Rosy Skies, you'll find my profile. So I'm offering some Valorant games. So if you want to play unrated or competitive or Spike Rush or Deathmatch, whatever, yeah, hit me up there. Looking for friends to play with. And then I'm also on Twitter, Rosy Skies TV. And TikTok at Not Rosy Skies. And that's where you can find me. How about you, Coby?
Well, I have one video I'm really excited about. I think it'll be out either just before or just after this podcast is posted on Woodward Cinemas. I made an entire song about the Mothman. I think I might have mentioned this on the last podcast. It is finally filmed.
It's finally filmed. You're sending me behind the scenes today, guys. Oh my God, it looks great.
And that's all part of, on this channel, I'm doing a new series called Flirting with Ghosts. And what Flirting with Ghosts is it's just any video I can think of that fits under the umbrella of paranormal, spooky, scary. I'm going to do, I have the Mothman music video, and then I might do a video where I'm vlogging buying a ghost costume with my girlfriend.
And we're going to go hunt Bigfoot.
Yes, we need a Bigfoot hunting vlog. Ghost hunting vlogs are obviously going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, we had a really interesting idea. I think it would be a lot of fun where we do slideshows about cryptids and try to make each other laugh. So
oh my God. Yeah,
anything to do with the spooky, especially the cozy spooky. I think I want to do like some, pumpkin carving vlogs and stuff like that.
Oh, I love that.
Anything like that, because just like Garrett Watts has always said, Halloween is a very special time because it's the day of the year that everyone acts like me 365 days of the year.
Yeah.
So that is coming up, Flirting with Ghosts. Also posting out of context commentaries where me and usually my good friend Aaron will be watching some movies and you see our reactions out of context. Me and Rosie are going to record one soon. We're probably going to do The Cat in the Hat. That'll be at a later date. But yeah, lots of happening on the channel. Very exciting stuff. You can find me on Twitter, RingoJake41. You can find me on TikTok, Coby the Beeman. I like that name.
Coby the Bee-Man.
And Bee-Man is spelt like B-E-E man.
B-E-E-M-A-N.
Yeah. So find me on TikTok, Twitter, and of course, YouTube, Woodward Cinemas. I really appreciate you check that out. Or if you're already here, look in the recommended tab or my channel tab and you'll find some cool stuff. Okay, and you could probably put together what my name is if you want to add me on Facebook, but I don't like Facebook, as we just said. Instagram as well, RingoJake41. I'm there. I don't like being there. Find me on Twitter.
Nice.
Okay, so it's time for our movie, Rosie, so we better get going.
Yeah,
out of the lobby.
What are we watching tonight, Beeman?
The Gray Man.
The Gray Man. All right, can't wait. I guess that's what we'll discuss next pod. Well, definitely check us out. Check out Dalt Wisney at Twitch.
Yep, check out Dalt. Say that Rosie and Coby sent you from Lobby Snacks.
Roby.
And Roby, you better tell Dalt what the hell Lobby Snacks is before people start arriving to his street.
No, I won't.
Oh, you won't. Yeah.
No. Yep.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
We thank you for joining us this evening. Remember, any cars left here overnight will be towed. We hope to see you back here at Woodward Cinemas for some more lobby snacks in the future. We'll see you next time, folks.